Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at something maybe a bit different. We have this source. It's based on an old book, Obeah, Witchcraft in the West Indies.
Sounds intriguing.
It does, but we're actually not diving into the Obeah today. Our mission is really about the journey of that book. How does something that's been sitting on a library shelf, maybe for a century, suddenly appear on your screen?
Ah, the digitization process.
Yeah, exactly. We want to unpack how that happens, the sort of surprising details, and what it means for you when you access these old texts online. So let's get into it. Okay, so our starting point is this digital copy. The notes say it was preserved for generations on library shelves and then, quote, carefully scanned by Google.
Right.
And when you pause to think about that, the sheer scale of scanning all the world's books, or trying to, it's just massive, making all that discoverable online.
It really is. And if you zoom out a bit, this connects to Google's big partnerships with major libraries. Their stated aim was digitizing public domain materials.
Public domain, okay.
Yeah, materials where copyright wouldn't be an issue, supposedly, and making them widely accessible. They talk about being custodians, which is interesting phrasing.
Custodians, not owners.
Exactly, not owners. It's a huge shift, really, in how we get access to history, to culture.
Yeah.
But it also raises questions, about a private company managing such a vast public archive.
That's a really good point. So let's clarify that term, public domain. What does that actually mean for a book like this?
Well, basically, it means the copyright protection period has ended. The book, in theory, belongs to everyone now. It's out of copyright.
Okay, so free to use, essentially.
In principle, yes.
Yeah.
But we'll get to the but later. What's fascinating, and you mentioned surprising details earlier, the source notes point out that original marks, notations, and other marginalia from the actual physical book, they often show up in the scan.
Oh, that's brilliant. So you might see like little pencil marks someone made ages ago.
Exactly. It's a direct link back to the physical object and its history. Little ghost in the machine.
Wow. That makes it feel much more real, doesn't it? Not just a sterile file.
It does. These digital copies become, as the source says, our gateways to the past. They unlock history, culture, knowledge that was, frankly, often hard to get your hands on before.
Right.
But, and here's the catch we hinted at, even though the original material might be public domain, using the digital file comes with guidelines, things you need to know.
Okay, so let's talk about that. What does this mean for you, the user, if you download one of these scanned books?
Well, Google's terms are pretty clear. Generally, the files are intended for personal, non-commercial purposes.
So no reselling them or using them for a business without checking further?
Precisely. And they also say you shouldn't hit their system with automated queries. Basically, don't use bots to scrape everything en masse without permission. That's partly technical to protect your servers.
Makes sense.
And critically, you have to maintain attribution. That means keeping the Google watermark or branding on the file. Don't remove it. It's their stamp, acknowledging the work they did scanning it.
Okay, personal use, no bots, keep the watermark. Seems straightforward enough.
Mostly. But here's the really crucial part, the one people often miss. The source explicitly states that whether a book is in the public domain may vary country to country.
So just because it's public domain in, say, the U.S.
doesn't automatically mean it's public domain everywhere. Copyright laws are different across the globe, and the responsibility falls on you. The source says you are responsible for ensuring that what you are doing is legal.
Wow. Okay, so you can't just assume.
You really can't. Copyright infringement liability, as they put it, can be quite severe. So finding it on Google Books is the start, not the end, of your due diligence if you plan to do more than just read it personally. Always double-check the rules for your location and intended use.
Right. That's a really important warning. So wrapping this up, what we've seen is that getting these old texts online isn't just, a simple upload.
Not at all.
It's this massive preservation effort, which is amazing for access to knowledge, but it's also tangled up with these complex global copyright laws and, well, our own responsibilities as users. So for you, the learner, the takeaway here is that even when something seems free and open, like a public domain book online, understanding the how it got there and the why the rules exist is really important. It's about being a smart, responsible digital citizen.
Absolutely. And it leaves you thinking, doesn't it? How does this huge digitization push actually change our collective memory, our shared sense of the past? And maybe more importantly, what new ethical questions do we need to ask ourselves as we navigate this enormous, ever-growing digital library that spans the globe?